We have the best real estate crash ever. This is going to be bigger and better than the great financial crisis. This is going to be like the financial crisis on steroids. It is going to be the best you've ever seen. This is one for the textbooks, and it's coming soon. Now, one of my models got triggered in the last week, telling us where we were and just moving us that much closer to where the timing model says we're going to have the waterfall effect, and it's coming. Now, when I say it's the best housing crash, it means that the opportunity for us to get wealthy is enormous. We're going to just buy all kinds of short sales and foreclosures and distressed properties in the affordable housing space because that's where the demand is at. That's also where the unaffordability is at. That's where demand destruction took place from the Federal Reserve. They don't want people to buy those, but that's my marketplace. Now, my portfolio is all affordable homes, single family, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, maybe a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage with a backyard. Somewhere a family can put down roots and stay 8 to 10 years. Not unusual. How do you like that? I have one property. There are 2 people paid the mortgage off. Both of them were there for 15 years, paid the loan off for me. Now that's coming. And we're going to get terrific discounts all across the country. But I'm going to toot my horn here. Phoenix, Arizona is going to be the best market in the world. Sorry, it's going to eclipse Florida, and it's going to eclipse Texas, anywhere else. It's just going to be the best here. There is so much chip plants under construction here. So we have Taiwan Semiconductor is going in. But let's talk about the housing crash itself. Now, I was here during the great financial crisis, and we were buying homes at or below cost. They were terrific buys. They were just great. And they cash flowed from the day we put someone in. They were affordable. It's a big portion of our portfolio we've owned for a lot of years. We bought a lot of them in Surprise along the 303, all affordable, 3-bedroom, 2-bath. And these are homes that people can afford. That is where the affordability crisis is at. Demand is there. They just can't afford to buy these properties. And once the properties come crashing down, well, they lose their jobs. The economy goes bad. They can't buy these things, and they end up renting. That's where we come in. We're going to rent them to them. Now, a lot of you guys are going to be scared to death because the economy is just going to be terrible. It's going to be really, really terrible. They call that blood in the streets. That is what Warren Buffett is waiting for. He's sitting on all this cash because he's an old guy. He's even older than I am. And he's seen it before. Now, I've seen this before, too. Now, we got triggered last week. I'm going to talk about my timing model. We got triggered, and it wasn't because of the tariffs. It's just the fact that we're coming along our time continuum, and we had a trigger point, which tells us where we were. So let me go to my next slide, and let's just talk about that, and then you can see what I'm talking about. Now, when we have these timing models, remember I've been interviewing Charles Denner for a really long time. It takes a long time to get your head around the fact that Charles tells you, I know what is going to happen. I have a really good idea when it's going to happen, but I don't know why. I don't know why it's going to happen. So let me just open this up and let me go to my cursor so that we can talk about this just a little bit. Now, this is the time continuum going this way. We know that it's 18 and a half years, and it's 14 years up and about 4 years down. Now, we peaked. Now, you can go to my prior videos. Now, if you like my prior videos and my videos, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Oh, my God, does YouTube love that stuff. This, though, oftentimes is not a point. This is a process, so it takes a while. So we peaked in June of 2022 here in Phoenix, Arizona. I think the rest of the country peaked around December. And I used median homes because, averages, if you get a high average, which is going on now, you have a lot of people that are buying on the upper end. It really drags it up. Median, not so much. It does drag it up, but when we do the median, it's a little more normal. So we've peaked all our signposts are telling us we're over here, and the last signpost says we're coming down here. Now we've got to cover from here to here pretty quickly because we need to get down, and that's where I think we are. We have the price waterfall is coming. I think that is fairly soon, and I think that we're going to see discounts all across the country. I think it's going to come all the way down. My last video, we talked about that. I think we're going to come to a reset because prices need to get back to where they were. And to get there, they resolve in a brutal fashion. That is what happens. That happened in a great financial crisis. People lost their jobs. They lost their houses. They lost their families, lost their cars. They went bankrupt. They did short sales, did all kinds of things. It was just a terrible time. Terrible. Not fun, but it's good for us. So, and I'm telling anyone that's in this trouble, this is coming. So if you feel like you are overextended, then quit spending. This is easy. Quit spending, get another job. Go deliver pizzas, go deliver Dash, go take a part-time job, get some extra cash together because an opportunity like this doesn't come around very often. And my age, you're not going to get another one. So this is it. This is it or no more. This is the one that you're going to get. So we need to get rolling on this. Let me go to my next slide here, and let's just talk about that. Now, it is the worst. It's the worst housing crash. So it's the best housing crash. It's the worst because people like this are going to get hurt, and it is very heartbreaking. So I'm warning. I've been warning for the last couple of years, and now I'm just doing everything I can. If you need to sell your house, you need to do that. If you're overextended, get out of debt. Start building some cash because this is coming. It is going to be brutal. All those people that bought the houses now. Here's what happens. Here's what I'm seeing this every day, is that they buy a house. FHA, they put $20,000 down in 2020. The house goes up to, they pay $350 for it, goes up to $500,000. They made $150,000 on this $20,000 that they put down, and they've never made this kind of money ever before in their lives. And in like 2 years, they've made $150,000. It was like, oh my gosh, it's magic, and they go out and spend it. We see a lot of HELOCs. We see a lot of people with new cars. They took out seconds against their house, and they spent it. They get in debt, and they spend it. So now we're starting to see housing, the affordable housing price, back up. So in my marketplace, it's affordable. It's the affordable price range, and there is a demand destruction. It's orchestrated by the central banks around the world. It doesn't affect the upper end. Now, here in Scottsdale, Arizona, where we have private golf courses with gated communities with guards and big, beautiful views of the mountains and beautiful climate, those homes are doing very, very well, particularly here in Arizona next to California. Because, 5,000 square foot house here, custom home on a nice golf course lot, it's running $2.5 million, $3 million. California's running $3 million to probably closer to $7 million. So they get here, it's half price. What a great deal. And they pay cash for it. Those guys aren't being affected at all. But the affordable housing where my portfolio is at, they're getting crushed. And it hasn't even started yet. It's just starting to come a little bit. And so we're seeing the values back up already. Already they're down about 15%. Even here in Phoenix, Arizona, which is going to be the best market in the world. So that's coming. Let me go to my next slide. I'll just talk about that one. And now I'm going to tell you, I've told you this. You need to act. Don't be like those other people. Don't be a victim. So if you're in trouble, you only have a very short time. Call your broker, get your house on the market, and get rid of it. If you've got an investment that's not working well, get rid of it. If you've got one that's a laggard, get rid of it. Now, I'm going to tell you, well, I'm getting ahead of myself, so let me just hold on here. I'm going to tell you. So best thing for you to do is get out of the way. You just saw this last week. I talked to Charles Nenner. Charles Nenner thinks that the S&P will be down around 4,000 by end of the year. So that tells you if you're in another asset class that's under pressure, go talk to your broker. You do not need to be invested 100% invested 100% of the time. You take some money off the table. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Try and book some of your profits. This is easy peasy stuff. You're going to need it to reinvest. Now, typically the way this works is it comes down, then it bounces. The bounce is your last time to get rid of it. So we probably have a pretty significant bounce coming, and then it's going to come down because men are saying, look at 4,200. I know Charles. I think that he's a pretty smart guy. So if Nenner says something, it pays to listen. Now, here's where we're at. We're right next door to California. California is uninvestable. Oregon, uninvestable. Seattle, uninvestable. Chicago, Illinois, all of Minnesota, New York, Vermont, Connecticut, Massachusetts, Delaware, New Jersey, uninvestable. Crime, overregulation, overtaxed, and not business friendly at all. Oh, excuse me. I'm so sorry. Now, we're right next to California. People are leaving there. And you know who's leaving? The entrepreneurs, people with money, people with dreams, people that want to do something with their lives. Lots and lots of restaurants and franchises that cannot get by in California are coming here to Arizona. We have a job market like crazy. So we have the Taiwan Semiconductor here that just got $100 billion order for AI chips. They're going to be a $150 billion plant employing 100,000 people. Big jobs. We've got chip manufacturers like crazy. Intel is here. They just got an $8 billion infusion from the government. And then Taiwan Semiconductor and Intel just formed a JV to do more chips together. These are all bringing in high-paying, high-tech jobs. We've got Warren Buffett's railroad coming here. It's got 4,000 acres. They're bringing in rail and they're bringing in freight. They're going to do intermodal freight lines. Things are going really, really well here. Phoenix will be the #1 market in the world, in the entire world. And yet we're still a little slow. So here's great opportunities for you. And we have a great affordability. We can get into, you come talk with us, spend 15 minutes free. It's 15 minutes free. No problem. You can talk with me. You can see if I'm a good fit. We can go over your portfolio, talk about what's going on in your life. We can talk for a couple hours. I charge $250 for it. If you think it wasn't any value, I won't charge you. If you think, hey, that's not for me, fine. No charge. You're probably going to like it though. Most people are, and see if it works, because we are getting ready. So I think we're going to make a lot of money. And California is sending us people like crazy. They're all bailing. So it's uninvestable. You can't, we have people, if you have investment properties in California, here's an idea for you. Do a 1031 exchange and get the heck out of California. Same with Oregon and Chicago and Illinois and Minnesota and all those coastal cities. Seattle, you need to get out and get into the inner part of the country where we actually want your business. Do you know that in California, how long it takes? I was stunned when watching Bill Mayer. He's saying he talked to Newsom and said that I've been trying to get my roof taken care of for 3 years. 3 years. I'm waiting for the government to approve the fact he wants to do something with this roof, and he can't get a permit to do so. 3 years. And I'm hearing these stories in California where you can't get rid of a tenant. Tenant quits paying you, and you can't get rid of them. 25 days here in Arizona. Your rent is due the 1st, it's late the 2nd, and by the 25th of the month, you will be out of that property. I mean out. And we're going to re-rent it to someone else. That's how quick it is here. So there's no messing around. We have a really good rental market. So we have good tenants. They understand rules. We treat them very well. They treat us very good. But there's so much regulation in California and these coastal cities, you can't do business. They're uninvestable. Way too much regulation, way too much tax, way too much crime. So we have these people coming here. And that's coming. And you are going to have an opportunity to buy these properties at a discount all across the country, but you need to be prepared. You go to my next slide and see what that next one is. Now, I promise you, I would tell you what my biggest mistake in 2009 was. Now, I definitely made a mistake in 2009. I was here in the business working with investors. My biggest mistake, I didn't buy more. They were on sale. I mean, they were discounted at or below cost. I was buying these properties 5 years old below cost. I don't know if we're going to get that way, but we're going to get a great buy. And I should have bought more. I should have bought more properties. I should have just bought, I have more money now than I did 15, 20 years ago, but I should have bought more. And that's going to be your problem. I'm going to tell you to buy. The economy is going to look terrible. Everything's going to look bad. People with interest rates becoming, coming down. And I'm going to tell you, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to want you to leverage 25 to probably 40% down. We're going to put some leverage on, and we're going to be looking. I think rates are coming down. Only a window. Maybe we're going to see 5%, 30-year fixed. None of this stuff with adjustable rate mortgages. We're not going to do that. It's 30-year fixed. And we're going to make a fortune. Going to make a fortune. So call us and see if we're a good fit for you and you're a good fit for me. And we're going to do this. So this is where you can catch me. This is where I'm at. West USA does all our back office. They do all the compliance work. They're a big $6 billion firm. We're the research. We do an awful lot of research and consultations. We consult all the time. If you want to talk with me and make sure I'm a good fit for you and you're a good fit for me, 15 minutes, no problem. And, if we want to spend an hour and a half, 2 hours, you can talk to me for as long as you want. If you think, no, I'm not a good fit for you, I'm not going to work with you, then we kind of won't charge you. But most people find it's valuable. And so right at the moment, we're looking to expand our portfolio. I am going to expand my personal portfolio very, very soon. If you're interested in getting wealthy, if you think that you missed out during the big run-ups, this is even a better time than what you had before. This is a great time to buy some properties because it's 14 years up, 4 years down. We only have a couple more years down, and then we're off for 14 years, and you are going to make an absolute fortune. We're going to have cash flow. All these properties with cash flow. You buy a property, you get a check the next month. And when we talk about this, we have property managers. I have 5 property managers that I have personally vetted. I personally have properties with these guys, and I have clients with them. They do a great job. They take care of absolutely everything. The only thing that you're going to get is your check in the month. Now, you can be involved or not be involved. That's really up to you. If you want to be real involved and do all this stuff, it's your property. You own it. So if this is what you want, you're welcome to do this. But most people don't. Most of the time they just they'll let us do it for them because if you're an entrepreneur, go make your money doing whatever you do. If you're a builder, go build houses. You're probably not in the rental business. We're in the rental business. Just let us do our job, and both of us will be really happy. So listen, if I can help in any way, give me a call. My very best to you guys. Bye-bye now.